Welcome to another episode of Eberhart Outdoors. I'm going to be doing a video on the art of changing your clothing and dressing for entries and exits so you don't perspire as much, you don't sweat as much. So I'm going to try and replicate a hunting scenario where I get up in the tree and I'm going to change my clothing. It's obviously daylight, but you know, in morning hunts I do it in the dark. It's totally dark. I have no light. So I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I dress and go in light, and then I let my body cool down from the walk in, and then I unpack my unzip my backpack and change my clothes and put my layering garments on underneath my scent lock. I'm a scent lock guy, pay no attention to the wind. Biggest game changer there is in deer hunting. Some people argue that, but they don't know what they're talking about. And also on this video, I'm going to show you my modified ESS. I've been hunting out of this same modified ESS for years and years and years. It's very safe as long as you do everything properly. I have an Amish friend, his name is Noah. He owns a saddle and bridle shop where he makes saddles and bridles. Basically anything to do with stitching for the Amish community up here by where I live. And he's been making modified ESSs probably for 3 years now. A lot of people, well, more than that, probably 5 or 6. When Tethrd sold the standard ESS, people would send it in to Noah and he would modify it like mine, which I will show you. Noah's phone number is 989-506-0721. And he makes modified ESSs from scratch. He makes them just exactly like they were before. The only difference is what was the aluminum D-rings are now stainless steel, but they're powder coated, so they're going to be black or gray or OD green. And he also makes it with a fixed bridge, so you tell him what bridge length you need, or he'll talk to you and he'll know what bridge length you need per your waist size, and he makes them. He actually can make them bigger. So where the ESS was a standard size 2-panel saddle, he can actually add to the saddle dimensions. So if you're over a 38 or a 40-inch waist, he can add material to make it fit you better for a larger person. And something else he sells, because he's a Tethrd dealer, he carries Skeletor aluminum sticks, and he also carries one sticks. This is a one stick. It's made out of titanium and aluminum, and it weighs 15 ounces. And he also adds aiders. I think his aiders are $20 per aider. If you get a 2-step aider, it's $35. So 20 for one and then 15 for the add-on step. So he'll do single and double step aiders on Skeletors or one sticks or any stick. If you got your own sticks and it's a different brand, if you send them to Noah, he'll put aiders on them for you. And he does an excellent job. He doubles the fabric over so it's not gonna fray. And so he doubles this over. It's regular 1 inch and it's 1/2 inch here, and then he also puts a pretty big pad at the bottom to keep that gap apart. And the aiders are the same distance as the steps. So this is 18 inches, this is 18 inches here. So he sells one stick, Skeletor sticks, which are also 18 inches. Skeletors are aluminum, all aluminum. They weigh about 2 pounds. Again, these are 15 ounces. And I'm going to go get my camo on. And then we're going to step up here. I already threw this stuff up here. I got a set of Bullman ring of steps. Now these Bullman steps, you can only buy them online. They are by far my preference. And if you use the word bow hunt, you get a 10% discount. So they're Bullman Outdoors. If you Google Bullman Outdoors steps, these will pop up. And these are the ones I recommend, and they come with a ratchet strap. And there's only 5 on this tree because this is a small diameter tree. I recommend getting 7 steps because you can add steps to the ratchet strap. I just took a couple off because I only need 5. Probably could get away with 4 on this small of a tree. I rarely hunt trees this small. This is just what I have available. So he sells all that stuff. He also sells a hardwood rattle bag. He sells prep pouches like I use for prepping trees in the spring. It's got 2 pouches, got a pouch on each side with a basically a lineman safety rope for climbing trees, and you can keep your steps or whatever you're going to use in your pouches for pre-prepping trees, primarily on private property. Man, I've been using one of those for 30 years. It's hands down, it's the bomb. And it has an adjustable carabiner, so you can adjust it just like you do a lineman rope on a saddle. So it has loop D-rings on each side that go, and then the lineman, the safety rope goes around the tree and hooks, and you can adjust it on the side. So I'm gonna get my camo and hope this turns out okay, but I'm gonna try and get a close-up of me physically changing my clothes in the tree. This here is a modified ESS, and again, it does not have leg straps. It has aluminum D-rings, aluminum or stainless, and these D-rings are so that your bridge strap, when you change your panels around and you adjust how you sit, this automatically recenters your weight distribution so you're comfortable in the saddle. You don't have to mess with those fabric on fabric bridge loops with bridge straps because they lock in place when you put weight on them. These here just slide real easy. You just slide inside that bridge loop, slides inside on that D-ring. And this is real easy to put on. You just center the 2 panels, grab the D-rings, pull them apart, step in between, keep the panels kind of overlapped, step in between them, pull them up, and then there's a quick adjust on the side. That's it. You're ready to go. D-rings are separated. You can walk in, and I wear mine in all the time, in and out all the time. This saddle here, it's $290 if you order it from Noah, and again, his number's 989-506-0721. I've designed several single panel saddles for big companies, and I don't like hunting out of single panel saddles. They climb up your back all the time. You're always lifting your weight and pulling it back down. 2 panels, you don't do that. 2 panels, you can adjust them separately, and because the inner panel is always underneath the crease of your butt, it never moves. Doesn't matter what you do with the outer strap. The outer strap can climb up a little bit. It doesn't pull the inner strap out from underneath your butt, so it never inches up where you have to lift your weight up and pull it down. Also, you can adjust it how you want it. You can overlap them and hunt. You can have them barely touching each other and hunt for a 12-inch seat. You can pull one up into your lower back and keep the inner one always stays underneath your crease of your butt. But you can totally adjust it all the time. Anytime during the day you want to change your comfort level. You can't do that with a single panel saddle. Also, I'm going to show you what a difference it makes when you're changing clothes in the tree. Makes a big difference because you can overlap the panels and keep them right underneath your butt, so your whole upper body is wide open. You can take clothes off. You don't have to worry about it, tucking them back in underneath the top of the single panel saddle when you got 2 or 3 layers on. You don't have to worry about that. Basically, you put everything on, pull it down tight, then you take the outer panel, which is overlapped on the inner panel underneath your butt, and you just lift your weight up and take it and slide it over the top of everything, and then put your weight down in it, and it snugs it all down in there tight. And then you can lift your weight up a little bit and adjust that panel however you want it. So a 2-panel saddle, in my opinion, blows anything else out of the water. Might take a little bit of getting used to. My original ESSs had a lot of stuff on it that the modified does not. This one's much easier to put on and to walk in and to climb in without the panels pulling apart. They don't pull apart with this. This quick adjust strap eliminates all of that. So I'm going to get up in the tree and change my clothes. So I just got up in the tree, hooked up my bridge to the tree tether. I got a girth hitch on this tree tether so it doesn't slide down this smooth bark tree. Hooked it to the carabiner. And now I loosen this cinch strap and I slide this panel, slide the saddle under my butt, and then I put my weight in it. Try to get them evenly distributed so they're centered. Put my weight in it. And this is a custom-made scent lock pack. I had it custom made quite a few years ago out of scent lock fabric. I think I got 3 of them. I'm trying to get Scent Lock to make one of these. So far they haven't. On my pack I also have a watch on one of the D-rings up at the top. And that watch is always just facing me so I can just quick turn and look and see what time it is. So I get up in my tree, and after a long walk in, if I'm hot and perspiring a little bit, I'll actually cool down. So what I'll do is I'll separate these panels to make it a little bit more comfortable than having them overlapped. I'll separate the panels so I got a bigger seat, and I may sit here for 10 minutes. And in the morning it's dark because I get my tree an hour to an hour and a half before daylight. I'm in my tree at least that long before daylight. And on evening hunts I usually go in early enough to cool down as well. So once I cool down, I overlap the panels, totally overlap them, so it's basically a 6-inch saddle. Then what I'll do is I will take, because now my whole upper body's free. I'll take my jacket, I'll take it off. I'm also wearing Tethrd knee pads. I love these Tethrd knee pads. I used to use trophy lines, but these are far better. Unzip my pack. I also carry an inner pack. This gets washed in scent-free detergent because I do have it hanging in the tree once in a while. And I hang it on the same hook that my backpack's on. My backpack's usually about 120 degrees off to my side when I'm sitting at my 6 o'clock. So I can easily reach in it, and if I need to swing 90 degrees to my right for a shot back over into here, I can do that without the pack being in my way. If I want to swing around that way to shoot the 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, you know, my backpack's not in the way there either. At 120 degrees, it's hardly ever in my way. In fact, I can't ever remember it being in my way. So I take this out. This has my head cover in it, my face mask, my arm guard, my quiver adapter, which I didn't bring. It has my release aid that I hook on here once I put an arrow on. So that's out of the pack. And now this particular hunt, I brought a vest that's heated. I think it's a Venturas, V-E-N-T-U-R-A-S, I think. So I put on my vest, zip it up. The battery is right in this pocket here. This is my battery. Now I won't turn this on for a while, until I start getting cold. And the battery has a little button on the side. I just reach up underneath, touch that button, and then I can turn the heaters on. This one has a front and a back panel. Now this particular layer garment here, it's a hook exterior jacket. This is actually an exterior coat, but it's lined with 100 grams of Primaloft, 100 or 120, so it's super warm. It also has a polyurethane membrane, so it's going to block the wind, because my scent lock, this particular scent lock jacket does not block the wind. It's permeable. So this blocks the wind, which makes a big difference, keeps your heat in. And I don't like collars, as a lot of you guys already know. So what I do is I flip the collar inside out, or flip it underneath, And then I zip this up. Then I put my sunlock jacket back on. Now this is a Savannah jacket, and it's almost November, so it just happens to be warm right now, so that's why I'm wearing this, so I don't sweat. Because I would normally be wearing my Saddle Hunter midweight that I designed for sunlock. Zip that up. I don't zip it up all the way because I got to put some stuff on it. So, first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to tuck all this stuff in. So I'm going to grab the back of the tree, pull all this stuff down, make sure the two panels are even. And I'm going to take this outer panel, just wiggle it up until it's where I want it, and sit back down. So now everything's nice, neat, and tucked in. And I'm ready to go. Hooked into my saddle. Then what I do, I always like to wear, this is called Spandiflage. It used to be made by HS, Hunter Specialties. I don't know if they still make it or not. I've got about 20 of these. And this covers my face. Also, this really helps you to keep your face warm if it's really cold out. A lot of times when it's real warm out, I won't wear this. It obviously covers my entire face other than my eyeballs. Then I got a safety pin here. I pin it to my bottom layer, which is usually a piece of merino wool. Now when I took off my jacket, I had on a t-shirt. That's a merino wool t-shirt also, made by Icebreaker. Icebreaker makes the finest merino wool products in the world. They're coming out of New Zealand. That's where the sheep are from as well. So I'm a big Icebreaker fan. I'd say second would be First Light. And then the most important part of a scent control regimen is the head cover with the drop-down face mask. 40% of your odor comes out of your head. Your hair follicles are the majority of that, or if you have a beard, your beard follicles. So this goes on over my Spandiflage. And then this gets pinned to my layer garment. So once I get that on, then I zip that jacket up. And now I'm pretty much done. I'm ready. Put my hunting gloves on. And I do use an old arm guard. So there's my arm guard. Keep that out of the way. Keep that loose fabric out of the way. So now I'm pretty much ready to hunt. And this is a pretty comfortable position. My bow's right here. It's right here at hand's reach. And because I've got these Bullman strap-on steps all the way around the tree, I can pretty much go any place and take a shot. Something else I do so I don't have all this rope dangling down here, I'll just take it and tie a little half hitch in it. I always want to make sure you got a little left here in case you need to let out some strap. To shoot to my 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock positions, even maybe 12 o'clock, because 12 o'clock I could easily do that. But to shoot over there to my right, I'm going to let out a little bit of this lead, maybe a couple inches. Then I'm going to pick up my bow and I'm going to just move around these steps. from here I can easily shoot to my 4 o'clock, 4:30 even, and my backpack is not in the way at all. Easily to my 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock position. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can easily shoot to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 4:30 position, probably even 5 o'clock. You can't do that with a platform. And also you're keeping the tree between you and the deer. It's not like standing on a platform and spinning around your whole body 180 degrees with putting the rope over your shoulder while the deer's on this side of the tree, the same side as you. I don't know where a lot of people hunt, but if you hunt in a pressured area where deer looking trees, you'll get picked probably 50% of the time doing that. So I don't know how they get away with that. And I know a lot of guys get busted doing that, but they would never admit it. So that's the process of changing and adding clothes. Now I'm going to do the process of, let's say I'm on an all-day sit, or let's say I'm on an evening hunt, and I went in the evening, I went in light, I had all my layering clothes in my backpack so I didn't sweat, and then once it gets, I put my layering garments on, once I cooled down for the afternoon hunt, I put on my layering garments, and then once it gets dark, I'm getting ready to get out of the tree, I don't want to sweat on that long walk back either, so I don't want to be wearing all of my clothing. Or if you're on an all-day sit, and you put on your layers in the morning, when you got up in the tree, you put on all your warm stuff for the morning hunt. Now it's 11 o'clock, the sun's out, you're overheating. You don't want to start sweating again, so you want to take off some clothes. So if you want to take clothes off, it's the exact opposite. I usually take my gloves off for this, at least my right. Have to take off my arm guard. Usually just put it in my pocket. Overlap the panels, sit them underneath my butt so they're overlapped. They're just underneath the crease of my butt. Take off my jacket. Your whole back end is totally exposed. It's easy to take anything off. You can't do this with a tree stand either. That's one advantage of a saddle over a tree stand. You're tethered through a loop in the back of your jacket to the tree. You got to turn around and unhook all that stuff and then take off your jacket. So I'm just taking off my jacket. Put it in my pack, take off my heated vest. Put it in my pack, take my jacket, put it back on. I usually like to keep one leg kicked out when I'm doing this. You just feel like there's no way you can slide out of this thing if you keep one of your legs, right or left, kicked off to the side. It's just a lot more comfortable, and it just feels more comfortable. Tuck my jacket underneath my two panels. Grab my outer panel, pull it up where I want it. Now I'm hunting with cool clothes on. My layers are in my backpack. If on an all-day sit, I'm going to put my layers back on in the afternoon when it starts to cool off. And then when it gets dark, I'm going to take them off for my long walk out. So on an all-day sit, I'll change my clothes 4 times. On a regular sit, morning or evening, I usually change my clothes twice. Once I get in the tree in the morning, and before I get out of the tree in the morning, after the morning hunt, or as soon as I get in the tree in the evening, I'll put on my layering garments that I didn't wear in so I didn't perspire. And then before I take my long walk out, I'll take the garments back off, put in my backpack before I climb down the tree. Because climbing down the tree is exertion as well, because if you're hunting on public land, you're removing platform and you're removing sticks. So you're exerting yourself to some extent. Now this fan to flies, you know, that's not a necessity. The head cover, if you're doing a scent control regiment, the head cover with a drop down face mask, that's mandatory. And when you're hunting, it should be up like that, over your nose, over your nose. Now a lot of times I'll cheat a little bit and I'll wear it right underneath my nose and breathe through my nose. And then as soon as I see something that's getting relatively close, especially if it's coming from downwind, then I'll pull it up over my nose like that. And then once I go to take a shot, I always pull this whole thing underneath my chin. I always pull it all underneath my chin. That way when I pull an anchor, this head cover doesn't impede my anchor point or my release. So the cool thing about the 2-panel is you can overlap them. You can put this way up here if you want. If you want to take a nap, you know, nod off. If you want to nod off, you can pull this way up here in your back. You have a lot of back support. You always have your butt support. Your butt support's there all the time. That never, ever changes. But you can do whatever you want with this back. I typically like to hunt with them just touching each other. So it's about an 10 to 11 inch seat. Feel a little bit in your upper butt a little bit. Gives you a little confidence that, you know, you're not going to slide backward at all. But a lot of guys like to separate them a little bit more, especially newbies. Makes them feel a little more secure, having that up in their lower upper butt, lower back. But if you've hunted in these things a while and you're super comfortable with them, I just like to have them slightly overlapped. So that's how you change your clothes. I may have made it look a little more difficult than it is, but I can do that in the dark in about 5 minutes maybe. If I have 2 layer garments, I can take off my jacket, put my layer garments on, put my jacket back on, tuck everything in, you know, pull it all down, and then slide my outer panel up over top of the back of the stuff so it's all tucked in nice and neat. I can do that really fast, in probably less than 5 minutes. So it's not that difficult, and this ESS, it just does so many things the other saddles they just don't do. And this quick adjust makes all the difference in the world as far as how easy this thing is to use. Dressing for hunting is an art form, in my opinion. When I was younger, I used to wear all my clothes in. I'd get in and my lower base garments would be soaking wet from perspiration. And I mean, when your base garments are damp, you get cold really fast. And the heated vest is a big deal as well. Heated vests are awesome. When you buy brand name ones, you're probably going to pay $300, $200 to $300. You can buy them online for a lot of times under $100, and they work great. The ones online work just as well as the other ones. What I do recommend is owning at least 2 batteries. Typically when you buy them, if they come with a battery, it's a 5,000 amp hour. I recommend getting at least an extra 10, or better yet, a 20. The 20 amp hours are about the size of a cell phone. But if you're going to sit for a long time, or if you want to run that sucker on high, because these have low, medium, and high, if you want to run it on high, both back and front, that kills batteries really fast. So a 20 amp hour battery will last you a day on a day's hunt, because you don't have it on all day. But a 5,000 amp hour will definitely not. A 5,000 amp hour might run out on a morning or just an evening hunt if you have it on, you know, if you have both back and front on medium or high. 5,000 amp hours is not that much, so definitely get some extra batteries. I don't even own a 5,000 anymore. I gave them away. My smallest one's a 10,000 amp hour. And man, they'll cut down on 2 layers. They are just absolutely awesome. I can't say enough about heated vests, but heated vests are really, really nice if you don't have one and you get cold. I recommend buying one, because then you don't have to buy as heavy and bulky of an outerwear. You know, so many of these garments for winter hunting are so bulky and they're so heavy, and you have to wear them on your entries and exits. And when you have that heated vest, you can buy something that's a midweight and then get one layered garment like that hook jacket I had here with the Primaloft liner in it, and it's a lightweight. Primaloft doesn't weigh squat, but it's super warm. And so you can just get one nice layer garment, have a midweight outer, and a heated vest, and you're going to be good down to 30, 25, 30 degrees. So give all that stuff some thought, and dressing is an art form for entries and exits. You always want to dress light going in, light going out, so you don't overheat, and carry all your extra stuff in your backpack. Put it on as needed. Good luck out there, guys.